Welcome back. Right now, we are speaking with Salt Lake City Missions Pastor Joe Vazquez. Pastor Joe, thanks for joining us today on the show.
Thanks for having me, Christine. Good to see you.
It's great to see you. Looking forward to seeing you in studio when the time is right. But Salt Lake
Yeah.
City Mission helps support the homeless in Salt Lake City. How are things going with the mission? Are you seeing an increase in the homeless population and in people that need help?
Yes, we've actually continued to stay open. So thankfully we're considered essential, and we're still open. And we've scaled back on some of our services because we're also experiencing, the belt tightening. Because we operate on donations, so folks are tightening up the belt, but we're managing, and we are seeing actually about a 60% increase of people that have never been here before coming to the mission specifically for food supplies.
I should mention that while you help the homeless, you also help individuals who are facing economic difficulties by providing food. How are you doing that right now?
Well, the larger percentage of the people we serve are going to be people that aren't homeless. They're what we would classify as working poor. So they are living, most of the time, they're living with other people or in motels or in other, living accommodations, but they don't have their own housing, but they're living somewhere, and they're just not making enough money to provide for housing and all the other things that are necessary. And that's where we're able to help a lot of folks. We helped about 50,000 people last year with one of the things, of course, is food supplies. And thankfully, even though things have tightened up, unfortunately, because of the restrictions handed down by the government, a lot of restaurants had to shut down. And because of those types of things, the hospitality industry, a lot of food that was supposed to be going out to these locations ended up staying at local companies like Nicholas Foods and the grocery stores. So they ended up with an abundance. So we've actually gotten an increase because we've been flexible enough to let the community know we'll go pick it up. So we kind of started out with a dip in March, and then it shot up in April. And so we've been able to keep up with the demand and of giving food out to people. And that's what we focused on the last 2 months.
It is unfortunate to hear how many people need that help, but at the same time, it's good to know that the Salt Lake City Mission is able to provide food for these individuals. Now, I know in the past that you have served meals within your facility. Are you still able to do that, or are you primarily giving food out?
Well, right now, because of all the restrictions, we are not having guests or clients in the building. We're doing everything with, curbside. So we have a pop-up out in the back, one of those pop-up canopies in the back of the parking lot, and we're prepared. Everything is prepared, and then we give it out. And so for the homeless, they're getting a bag that they can get a bag of groceries and food for the day, sandwiches and things like salads and fruit and milk and juice and those kinds of things. And then for families, we've actually seen it. That's where we've seen the greatest increase is families and single moms, people that are suddenly unemployed or their jobs were uh, they were deferred, and they're not working. So we've had it, like I said, a 60% of people coming, and it's specifically for food. So we've been giving out a lot more food boxes during this time.
Now, if someone needs that help and they want to utilize these services, what can they do? Are there certain times that they just need to show up? Do they need to go online and register first? How can they get that help they need?
Well, right now our current operations are Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to the public. We're actually open every day, but we're open to the public Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 10 o'clock till 2 p.m. And that's when people can come and get a food box. They just need to show proof of ID and residence, and they can get a food box for their family, and then they can come every 2 weeks, every 15 days after that. And of course, this Friday we're doing the Mother's Day food box giveaway. So we've actually are preparing an extra 150 boxes for families, and These ones are a little more special because they're going to have a gift bag in there, and it has all kinds of items that women will like, candles and makeup and just, frilly things for women. And then, of course, we had Mother's Day cards made, and they're all going to get a Mother's Day card that was personally written in by one of our volunteers. And then we've got flowers coming. So normally we host a Mother's Day party, basically a luncheon. And because we're not able to do any of the outreaches where we go and congregate hundreds of people, so we've focused on enhancing the food boxes for all the major holidays. And so after this, we'll be preparing for Memorial Day with a special box for families, then Father's Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. And then we're not sure, as I'm sure everybody is kind of waiting to see what the state is going to do when it comes to thousands of children going back to school in the fall. So we're kind of waiting to see, because we have a big back to school giveaway in the fall normally. So, but of course, we're all living in the abnormal world right now and all trying to do the best we can.
I'm always impressed with the forethought of the Salt Lake City Mission. Not only do you have a huge increase in individuals that need help, you're able to do something extra for Mother's Day. So very touching. Thanks so much, Pastor Joe Vazquez, for joining us today. If you want more information on how to volunteer, if you have some money or some food that you can donate, head online and find out how you can do that. And if you need that help, make sure that you also find out the times that you can get the food that your family needs. All right, we'll be back with more right after this.